So I don't know if this has, I don't know if this series has like a name. Haven't figured that out yet. Trailer Swords? I don't know. Trying to figure out like something. Maybe it should just be the mobile shop. So today on RC Guy Garage, we just went over an RC that, you know, out of the box, it actually looked like it was going to be pretty good, but then we came across a problem. If you want to go see what that video is, that is on the D. No, that's not the D. That DRC. No, that's on the other thing there. This video is actually about a DRC, but it's that 201E that I received that was an absolute piece of garbage. It was the worst RC that I have ever come across. And the crazy part, right? The crazy part is the brushed version of the same exact dang car. The brushed version is better because you expect less. And I think that was the springboard. That was the whole thing for the reason why I treated that car, or this car. It's the reason why I treated that car the way I did. The other car was the Hosim. So if you're interested in seeing like what's going down with the Hosim, go check out that video. As of right now, there's should be 2 episodes of that particular car, and I believe there's going to be a 3rd and maybe even a 4th. We will see, because the car does seem to have some good stuff about it. Now, this particular car might actually be the reason why there'll be a part 3 to that other car. I know it all sounds confusing, but let's break into this. Let's see what happened to that 201E from DRC after it went a couple of rounds with Big Black. So this is basically what's left. Big Black definitely had a good go at this thing. I probably could have salvaged some stuff off of this. I could have used this as a parts rig. I could have, should have, would have, all that garbage. I felt so unimpressed by what this thing was and the price point that this thing was at that I saw no need to really hang on to something that was really such a piece of garbage. And I actually could have used some of the parts that were on this because, like I said, I had this is going to make a mess. I had an RC, the brushed version, that is the same exact thing, but nah. Nope. So I'm going to go ahead and one thing I did want to do is, I know things are all disconnected and mangled, but what I did want to do is see if there's anything that was kind of left over. There's a whole pile of stuff right here, which this is all a big pile of garbage right here. Shocks are broken. Everything basically got destroyed. I can maybe salvage like a wheel nut. The body is destroyed. The differential got destroyed. So, like, I mean, I really crushed this thing. Or should I say Big Black took care of this thing. I can use the wheel nut. So there is a wheel nut in here. So I got 4 wheel nuts I can use. Basically, I'm sure everything else is just a pile of garbage. But what I did want to do is I wanted to power this up. Because there is the possibility that I could maybe use this brushless motor if this brushless motor survived. I don't care about the ESC because I think the ESC was part of the problem, but I do want to pull this motor out of here, and I want to see, I mean, look at this. The sticker's still on this thing. So that's how long this thing lasted. Like, I mean, it didn't even go through the process of me peeling off a sticker. That's how bad this RC car was, man. And DRC went ahead and sent me out another car that actually was good. So not everything that an RC company, you know, produces is garbage. I can use these Velcro straps, provided they survived. Look like they did. So I've got some Velcro straps that I can use out of this thing. Velcro straps seemed like they were fine. That's about it. Velcro straps, and like I said, maybe this motor. The servo, I could have used the servo too. Servo saver, maybe. Might be able to use the servo saver. I might be able to use these links. You know, little things that I can kind of peel off of this thing and maybe use. But I do want to go ahead and I want to plug this thing in. The heatsink got damaged. I just want to see, you know, after that abuse, does this ESC at least power on? So let's grab a battery. I'm going to grab, actually, this battery right here. Let's see if this thing still powers on. It does. So let me grab the remote. I'll be right back. Alright, so now I am back. We're still plugged in. I did actually, believe, found the remote. I have two of these, but obviously... Oh, wait a minute. Whoops! One of them says SC on it for short course. Can't believe I just did that. I got the other remote right here. So that was, that's obviously a help. Not like I think I know how to bind these things now. But this one obviously didn't have anything on it. So there is the possibility that this ESC, the ESC, you know, functions, but let's see if the servo itself operates. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this on. You can see it's blinking. I'm going to press this button. We're going to see what happens. I do want to plug in the servo though. So I'm not sure which way it goes, so I guess I'll try it this way first, see if that works. See, it's still blinking. I'm gonna go ahead, hit the power button. Here we go. We gonna see smoke or what? Okay. Servo doesn't work. Oh! But the motor works. So definitely this could be plugged in backwards. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that around. What a bummer. Could have probably used the servo for something. All right, let's see. Power it off again. Power it back on. Servo is definitely junk. I could plug in another servo into that, but so I do know at least that the ESC does work. The motor does want to turn, so let's go ahead and start ripping this thing apart. Let's see what I can potentially scavenge from this thing. Obviously, it's going to be the motor. That's, you know, the big one. So I need a Phillips screwdriver. I'll just use the Phillips screwdriver that I got. So that's kind of exciting. The motor appears like it works. Not in the way from what I'm doing. I also realize it seems like the lighting is terrible. So obviously I'll be able to save these screws. Stupid. Obviously I've got no use for any of this garbage. Screws are bent. Look at that thing. That thing's mangled. This one I think is a little bent. And I know it's crazy. I'm using the garbage driver, but just using what works, man. Look at that screw. That screw is cranked. Here we go. So, pop that out. So I do want to get to the ESC. So, it's like the ESC is screwed in from the bottom. So a couple of screws, I believe. I believe this is going to pop out the ESC. There we go. And it's out. A shock bladder. Alright, so here's the little ESC combo. And pull out the little motor. There we go. So we've got the motor with the motor plate. Go ahead and pop this little motor plate off. It's Haley, she's hot. There's no moving air in here right now. So, this look like it does look like it's actually adjustable for possibly a bigger pinion, maybe. But let's check the, while the pinion's still on, I'm going to leave the pinion on. While the pinion's still on, let's just make sure that, yeah. Let's just make sure that this works. Oh, water came out. Yeah, I left this thing out in the rain, by the way. So after I was done beating on it, I literally just put it on top of my trash barrel, and I was gonna toss it. And then I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna do a video just to see if things survived. So I thought the heatsink got jacked, but it didn't. Actually, it was just the sticker that got jacked. So the heatsink is actually doing pretty good on this little motor. I have no idea. Oh, there we go. 2300 kV. 2300 kV is what this motor is. So, yeah, okay. So let's plug that back in. Put the, what do I do with the remote? Put the remote back on. Turn it on. And then give it some power. Look at that. Seems fine. Motor's totally fine. That's awesome. Woo! Burn my fingers off. All right. Cool. ESC works, man. I'm going to say that the steering servo would have worked. It's just literally just the steering servo itself is junk. I'm pretty confident that that probably works. So that is pretty slick, man. So the ESC and motor survived. So that is very cool. Not that it matters, but I just, like I said, it's pretty cool that that's a survivor, man. So this is a surviving ESC motor and TXRX. So anything else on this thing that I can, you know, tear off would be obviously like, you know, wheel nuts and stuff like that. Could definitely always use wheel nuts. I think this is actually the toolkit for that car, I think. So inside of here, there should be extra wheel nuts. So I ended up scoring, man. I got gears, I got everything. What a shame this car was such a piece of garbage, but look at that. It's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Body pins, a new gear, pins, bolts. So it looks like we're just gonna go ahead and scavenge some of this stuff off. I'll take the front bumper and the lights. Pin. Wheel nut. Tires seem like they're fine. These tires had no foam in them. I don't think I can use these tires for anything. They actually did have a plastic insert inside. So, yeah, I don't think I can use these tires. This axle. Yeah. Yeah, guy. Yeah. All the axles are broken. It looks like this front diff is actually all right. So the front diff might be all right. Looks like, I'm sure the lights are still fine. Let's plug in the lights. See if the lights still work. I know this is like a positive negative deal, I think. So let's see if the lights still work. Ah! Well, they probably worked. They probably did work. They don't work now. Alright. Well, I know this works. So the lights might work. I don't see why they shouldn't. There is a little bit of a break in the insulation right there. So, yeah, I don't know, man. You know what? Let's go after the diff. Because the diff itself might still be okay. Because the wonderment is, does this diff fit anything else? And we'll see what's in here. It's supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be metal. We'll find out real soon if this was metal or not. This is all mangled. Let's get this out of here. Need like a driver here. That screw's mangled. That screw's mangled. These shocks are destroyed. I could have used stuff, man, but I was just super motivated to destroy this thing. Yeah, these shocks are junk. These shocks were just junk anyway. Go ahead and just get this out of the way. Let's see. I can hear Daisy wine-bagging outside because she can hear me. She's on the deck. She's wondering what? Oh, there goes a screw. All right, get to this little center brace deal. You can see the rust that was forming from leaving it outside. And pop this cover, and there's the diff, and the diff is fine. So we'll be hanging on to that diff for some kind of project for something. Gears feel fine. Metal part of the gear, the actual ring part of the gear looks fine. So we got that. Like I said, these shocks are junk. They're bent and destroyed. This center drive shaft is bent, but this gear with its bearings are fine. This gear in the back looks like it's in good shape with its bearings. Look at that. So I got some bearings with a spur gear. Spur Spur gear is actually amazingly fine. This little pinion gear. It's got one little burr on it, but that's fine. So that's basically it. Couple wheel nuts. Pull this one off. So there we go. Couple wheel nuts. So we ended up 4 wheel nuts. We've got a usable diff. We've got some usable pinion gears. All this is powdered junk. But we've got bearings. We've got a spur gear here that's plastic with some usable bearings. Probably got some... I just want to check this out here. So technically, man, I probably could have used that. I'm going to see if I can bend that. Same thing with this one. Terrible. We got some bearings in the hubs I can go ahead and pop out. I wonder if... Nah, I'm not even going to bother with the hubs, I don't think. I know I could use these arms because the other RC actually has broken arms. So let's go ahead and pop this apart. Wow, even the skid plate got mangled. Chassis actually looks like it survived somehow. That's pretty crazy. But what I'm trying to go after is I'm trying to go after these arms. Because the other brushed RC does have a broken arm. There we go. Check it out. So we got that. I do think this light works. I should just plug it direct right now into the battery. All right. So I just got to plug this direct right into the battery. See if these lights work. Positive, negative. And look at that. And I did say that these lights were stinking bright. So we got working lights, which just needs a plug. We have pins. That are bent. That one's straight. But I've got the arm that I needed. Yeah. Got some little flexible pieces here. Pull off some of these steering components. So the DRC did end up giving some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. It's got the little servo saver on it. Again, why am I doing this? I don't know. Just to show you that, you know what I mean? It didn't all go to waste. So that's pretty much it. We've got a little pile of stuff here that we can use. We do have, you know, obviously, like I said, the shocks are junk. We'll get rid of those. But it appears like these arms may have survived, man. So that's junk. That popped out, but that's a press-in. So, and it seems like it's actually all right. So it's got some bearings. It's got an inner and outer bearing. Pretty sure those are fine. Obviously that link is junk. This side, can go ahead and get rid of shock towers junk. Yeah, it's all junk. This arm's junk. So we did end up with some parts, man. Mainly the ESC. I think that's the important part, is at least the ESC itself is okay. So had some rear CVTs. All this stuff got jacked pretty bad. Another wheel nut right there could pop off. Again, like I said, this wasn't about keeping this RC car, in a sense, in any way. Get that wheel nut. So, got that. What else we got in here? I think the wing. So I actually think the wing was okay. Was it? Yeah. Actually, the wing is alright, but it bolts kind of funky. It's got a funny way of bolting on. This was the other diff. The cups, you know, this thing is mangled. And I think this is one of those ones where you got to take it apart to get the bearings out, I think. Yeah. So, let's see what's inside of this diff while we're right here. Might as well check it out. I definitely got a mess to clean up here. Let's see. Looks like the internals are fine. These... No, actually, these are good too. Wow, it actually seems like the internals survived. Huh. It looks like this one got bent. Yeah, that one's definitely bent. I think. Yeah. Right? You know what? It's actually not. It's actually fine. Look at the gears inside. It's actually fine. Wow. Alright, so this has got kind of components that can be kept. Now what I do with the screws, though. Alright, that's it. So, there was some stuff. There was some stuff that was salvageable from that RC car. Big Black definitely had its way. And that's the way it should have happened, man. Because that RC really was a complete piece of garbage. It really was. Was I able to salvage some stuff off of it? Yeah. Yeah, I was. The question is will I ever actually use body pin? Will I ever use any of this stuff? That's debatable. It might be good just to hang on to it. Maybe put it in a little parts bin that's designed for these smaller RCs and realize that, believe it or not, this is money right here, man. This is a front full differential that did not get destroyed. It was totally unharmed. So I did end up with some parts. I got some wheel nuts out of it. I got a gear that's totally fine. I've got spare parts that came with the RC car, so It's not that I didn't see any value in it. It was just point blank that fact that they tried to charge $200 for this particular RC when you take this Hosim, right? You take this Hosim car, and while this does have its own little issue in its own, which, like I said, you'll just have to watch that video if you're interested to find out what the issue was with that, but it's got some stuff that I can use, and the majority of it, I'm right now just going to toss it. So, anyways, RC Guy Garage, and that was breaking into the DRC 201E, technically the aftermath. After Big Black had its way technically 3 times with it, because it ran it over 2 wheels that way, 2 wheels the other way, and then it did a burnout on it. Which actually, so that means the front wheel also, no, did I back up? No, I backed up to it. So I backed up, crushed it, and then did a burnout on it. So Big Black is the hand that holds the hammer, man. It's Big Black put the hammer down and just said, yeah, this thing's a piece of garbage. So while I'm not out ripping it right now, I am doing something that's, you know, that RC related content. And amazingly, some components did survive. And some of these components probably are cross-platform. Some of these can probably work with the Rolarlo. We'll see, man. So, normally I'm out ripping it up. Right now I'm just doing mobile shop stuff. What are you doing today? Here we go. See if I can try something. I'll try something here.